Hey everybody, Robert with RC Archery. For this installment of my Tuesday's Tip of the Week, what I'm going to do is actually pull a segment from one of my instructional videos. So my instructional videos are basically no holds bar, full information videos that range anywhere from 45 minutes to an hour and a half. These are going to go over certain subjects and they go full in depth with them so nothing gets left out. The purpose of this video is going to be about aiming. This is one segment out of them where I talked about building up the way that you should aim, how everything comes together, internal shot clocks, and really transferring the focus of what an archer is doing. And the reason I'm allowing this to be this week's video is because I've gotten archers that I work with messages through Instagram, Facebook, Archery Talk, all of that, all here lately, and it's really shown me that a lot of archers are focusing in the wrong spots. I see a lot of people right now, they're focusing on their shot execution, meaning that they're punching at the trigger or they're pulling through their shot, but they're really snapping their arm back and essentially punching at the trigger or punching through their hinge as well. And what they're doing is just rushing through everything. I'm going to take the focus off of that shot execution and actually place it on aiming. This is going to be where you slow down, where you're getting smoother, and where you're going to have less pulls with your hand, less pulls with the trigger, where you actually go away from your face, or something where you're coming out of anchor and you're missing downrange because of that. Now, this segment is going to be around 6 minutes long. It's broken up into two parts. It's going to show you everything that you need to know on the way to look and build your subconscious aiming and what you're looking for as an end game. Alright, so now we're going to talk about aiming. So this is the part where everything starts to come alive. Whenever I work with an archer, the main thing that I always see when it comes down to aiming is that they think they have to force the pin or force their dot to stay in the middle of the target, and that's what they work their whole shot around, is they're forcing themselves to stay in there and they're trying to control everything, and that does a lot of things. It breaks down your shot timing, it changes it because your body is starting and stopping your shot a lot, and it also is going to cause what a lot of people refer to as drive-by shooting. So this is going to be where you're holding your pin on target and then it's starting to drift to the left, so you're pushing it over to the right and you overcorrect because you're trying to move. And the reason this is happening is because what your eyes perceive, for the time it takes for your eyes to perceive it, your brain to see what's going on, and then your brain to send the signal to your muscles to put you where you want to go, takes too long. So what you do is you end up overcorrecting because your body is already starting to naturally bring itself back to the center, and then you're pulling it too, so you overcorrect and you move the other, the other direction. So what we want to do with our aiming is actually work it into what we call a subconscious aiming. Now the subconscious aiming is all built around your form. So this is why I have a very neutral stance, neutral setup when I teach anybody that I work with on their form, and why I use it myself. Because a lot of your form is based around your feet on how you aim on target. Your stance being more open or more closed is going to align your hips and your shoulders to where your bow is going to naturally hit the middle of the target, and that's what you want it to do shot after shot. And then you use your hips, or you lean back or you lean forward to change the height, because you always want that straight line in the shoulders. What you're doing with that is you're setting your body up to where you don't have to fight it. You draw back, hold on target, put that pin in the middle whenever you go to anchor, and then you leave it there because you've set your body up to keep it in that spot, and then you let it go. So that's the hardest thing to do on archery, is just let go of that pin. So you gotta learn to let go of wanting to force it to be where it needs to be at that point in time. That's when we break down and we start to deal with the subconscious aiming. And it's really just trusting your form and trusting your shot. That's the biggest things. Really wise coach, Terry Wonderley, he probably made the best reference to this and the best here go try it scenario that I've ever seen. And I go through this a lot with my archers, and I even did it myself. It was go shoot 20 shots on target, forcing yourself to aim and put the pin in the middle of the target, document your scores, mark your shots, do a whole nother 20 set, and then let go of the pin. Don't force it, don't try to control it and keep it in the middle. Place it in the middle, trust your form, trust your shot, and then go. And then see where you end up. I've never seen anyone to this point that's been set up correct on form and had good execution that scored worse when they let go of the pin. Because you're not controlling it, and you're not over aiming, and you're not over correcting, you're letting your body do it. So let's talk about the basic principles behind that. Let's talk about what you want to look at whenever you're doing in building and doing your subconscious aiming. All right, let's break this down and let's bring this into light here. I've got my string trainer here and I've got my release so that I can show you kind of what I'm talking about. Basically, this is where we're going to have the blind bailing, where we're going to have all the muscle memory, all the the time spent perfecting our shot execution. This is where it's going to come into play, and I'm going to go over this later on in this video. I'm going to break down what you need to do with your blind bailing and how you need to build that shot execution. But for now, I'm going to give you the information on what you need to do to be able to carry that over and take that into your aiming. So basically, whenever you build the muscle memory, whenever you build the repetitions through blank bailing, your body, your muscle memory, and your brain knows what's going to happen. It knows where you're at with your movements, where you're at with your body whenever you do your shots, when that shot is going to break. Unless you're dealing with target panic and there's something going on, I'm not an advocate of changing releases or messing with the release too much, because you want to be able to build that repetition and that timing. It's not going to be ever a situation where you know right to the millisecond when it's going to go off. It's still a somewhat surprise shot, but you're going to know a zone when it goes off. 1 to 2 second range is ideal where you want it to go. Basically what that is it's building down a shot repetition, it's building down a timing factor, and then your brain is going to perceive with your eye where your dot is on target, and as you're floating on target, when it gets to the middle, it's when your body is going to allow you to execute that shot. It's going to bring it all together, it's going to do it for you. And that's why that tool, that trick that we talked about, where the 20 shot groups, that's why that works the way it does and why it's so effective when you allow your body to do everything for you. So that comes down to building a shot window, it comes down to perfecting that, and it comes down to all the work that you did on the blind bailing, and we're going to go into all that as a whole. But basically, your eye is going to perceive what you're aiming at downrange, and then your body is going to be going, and it's going to feel that normal progression. It's going to know when that shot's going to break, and then it's going to align everything for you on target as it breaks your shot. You can kind of play around with this a little bit, just as like a scientific experiment type thing, and you can count in your head, and you can tell yourself ahead of time, hey, I want to count to 7, and at 7 I want the shot to break. And if you do this enough times, you start counting to 7. If it doesn't break at 7, you let down, you start over, and then you can kind of see how your brain's going to react to that. So you can draw back to full draw, and you can start your shot process, and you can say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then it goes. I'm not forcing my release to go off, I'm not doing anything with it, but in my mind I've already told myself this is when the shot needs to break, and it's going to do it for me. That's the power of your mind. It's an incredible factor if you use it for you instead of against you. But that's the long and short when it comes down to aiming, the subconscious part of it. From there, I'm going to go ahead and start breaking down some shot execution and the way it all works and the way you set up on target, and then we'll build everything together so you can come back, and then the aiming portion of this is going to make a lot more sense to you. So hopefully that sheds some light on looking at things from a different perspective. This week, later on Thursday, I'm actually having another video that I come out with. This one's going to be a special one. It's episode 1 in a new series that I'm putting out. And what I'm going to do with this is make this interactive. So this is going to be a multi-segmented video where I'm going to have 15 to 20 minutes total, maybe a little bit longer, but just several segments throughout that video. You're going to be over form, bow tuning, the technical side of archery, arrow software, building arrows, question and answering, all of that. I'm going to build that in, so maybe one topic isn't what you're looking for, or maybe it's something you've heard in the past, but another topic may be what you're dealing with right now and you need those answers for it. I'm also going to, like I said, make this interactive. So instead of me standing here going, here's what you need to do, I'm going to show you videos and pictures and footage of actual archers going through these problems. I'm going to point out what's going on, show you what needs to be fixed, and as I'm able to, be able to show you the end game on what happens after I fixed it, and that way to help bring us all together and help you out. More on this on Thursday. I'm also going to have a giveaway in that video too, so keep an eye out for all of that. Subscribe to the channel, share the videos, like the videos, turn your notifications on for them if you haven't. That way you get notified when I'm uploading. We'll just try to keep everybody together and talking through what we're doing and helping you as much as I can. Thank y'all for watching this video. I'll see you soon.